Oh, yeah. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Brothers Podcast Live. If this is your movie. Even I didn't want to hear me this week. My God. If this is your first time joining us for Brother Podcast Live, thank you so much for joining us, hanging out with us tonight. I am Trey, and I'm going to introduce the brothers to you in just a moment. B will be here with us in just a few minutes. Brandon's going to come in tonight. Pat is not going to be in with us tonight, but we're going to keep on moving and hold up the bloodstained brother banner, if you will. All right. So at this moment, I want to take an opportunity to tell you guys, don't forget to share. We are running a few minutes behind. Sherman couldn't find a hat to fit his head. And so what we want to make sure is that we celebrate the fact that God allowed him to find that. And so what we want to do is tell you guys to share. If you have not done so yet, hit that share button that's on your Facebook page. It tells us who shared. So don't be making it seem like you're a sharer of the brothers and you ain't sharing nothing. Share. I'm Trey. Over here somewhere is Sherman. Sherman, say what's up to everybody, man. All right. And then down there, guys, all by itself for now, is Matt with his shades on. And, okay, there we go. All right. Well, that's what we get tonight. The bad part is Shanetta comes in. The first thing Shanetta wants to say is, oh, y'all made it in. So don't act like we late to our show. All right. Y'all just showed up too early. That's what that was. All right. Y'all showed up early. We ain't late. All right. Anyway, yes, brother.
The people are requesting of an answer from me. My ring light is too bright.
That's not. Nah, that ain't it.
What is it, Trevor?
Ain't it? Arrogance. Arrogance is the real reason. Now, see, here's the issue, because I remember episode 3 of season 1. I wore shades, and I got crucified for wearing shades.
I didn't crucify you.
I didn't either.
Yes, y'all did. Aaron, no, you didn't say anything, but Trayvon, you did.
I'm sure I laughed, but I generally don't. And our faithful listeners, our faithful viewers will tell you, I generally don't joke on Sherman because I know Sherman's gonna get me back. I ain't got time for it. All right. So the devil is a lie. I don't bother Sherman. I don't bother Sherman because he'll come back, and I don't bother Aaron because I like him the most. Okay. So there's that. So Brandon's gonna be in just a few moments, y'all. He's getting himself together, and then we're here. We're gonna get started, man. We got a topic tonight that I think we're all gonna enjoy. We're talking about hypocrites. The question on the floor. We ain't answering it. I think got a question on the floor in a moment. Right? So while Brandon's setting up, we're gonna get ready. But listen, I got a couple questions. So all three of us are in Fayetteville, are in North Carolina right now. So I got a quick question for you. The governor of North Carolina, and all three of us are parents. The governor of North Carolina just opened up for schools, or talked about the phase that the school's going to go in and everything. What do y'all think about some of these schools are actually going back to the classrooms? Are y'all sending your children back into the classrooms, or are y'all doing virtual learning? Have y'all decided yet?
You know what? I don't think Governor Cooper really wanted to make that decision.
I don't think so, yeah.
Just following how he's been operating in this pandemic, I don't think that's the decision he wanted to make, but I think that the backlash from not making that decision would have been absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, my child may be staying home.
Really? Okay. What about you, Sharon? Have y'all made a decision yet?
I'm like pretty positive. See, Shannon, that's my sweetie. So she's gonna stay home. Joey now, if listen, if Joey if Joey,
I hope
if
that
Joey was
watching.
if Joey was
Well,
school age, he'd be in military school or something. He'd be in boarding school or something.
well, you know what?
Joey ain't no joke.
See, my son's childcare provider is still open. But she only has like a certain amount of kids, and she uses all the precautions and things. So they still go there now. But as far as public school, nah, bro.
Really?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. I think it's too soon,
Too soon, huh?
too soon.
I think so too. I think it's soon. Now, Nyla Grace is going to be going to the classroom on certain days, but that's only because their mother is she's a teacher, and so because Constance is a teacher, they'll be going with her. You know what I'm saying, to the classroom with her. But outside of that, um, yeah, she's going to the classroom. Other than that, they'll be learning online. But I think the difficulty may be for those younger children, those kindergartners, those pre-Ks, because I mean they're
That's
already.
my
Yeah,
kid.
yours the pre-K or kindergarten?
My daughter's going to first grade.
Okay,
I think it's going to be hard. Period.
Nyla going to kindergarten. Go ahead.
I think it's going to be hard. Period, because everybody is not treating this the same way, right? So you'll have kids who belong to a family who don't take precautions. You know what I'm saying?
And it's
Yeah.
gonna start a fight.
You know what I'm saying? So their family don't wear masks or they don't social distance or whatever, and then they send their kid to school and they put other kids in danger. And my thing is like, what, like, how is that going to work? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's too many questions for me. I don't feel like at ease, and I don't think my children or anybody's children should be guinea pigs. So I don't think the school board, they're not going to school, and I think sometimes that's a dangerous thing is when
What do
you
you
have
mean the school board not going to school? What do you mean?
they're not students.
Oh, okay.
They make this.
Yeah. Hey, I want to know what you meant. They're not going to school. Sherman, I didn't know what you were trying to say. First of all, I was texting, so to be completely honest, I wasn't listening like I should have been. All right.
Bus drivers, I mean, all of that. You got it. I don't know. I just don't. It don't. I don't know.
There's a lot of danger in it, if you will. But I mean, again, I think, and I stand with Governor Cooper. I think he's been doing a great job throughout this pandemic. I think that, like, I know there was somebody in the comment section here that said, Erica says Cooper should have stood his ground. Opening is just not a good idea. And I think that him standing his ground would have been good. However, we got to look at the fact that he is, and I say this even on a local level, he's the governor of all for the people in North Carolina. So sometimes he has to make a decision that sucks, but it still is. It's difficult for him, but it's the best decision that he can make at that moment. And it's not a political decision, So in my eyes, from what I see, it doesn't look like this was a political move for him because he looks like he's just through. He's sick of Corona. He's sick of the people.
Listen. Roy is sick of everybody.
Roy said, you know what? Next year, just don't vote for me. All right, I'm not even gonna run.
You know what?
Get it.
You see what Pierre Gilbert said, and that's another factor because I used to work at Longview, and that's the behavior kids who are not at all, going to take the precautions necessary or do the social distancing. The upside to those schools is that their classrooms are very small, so the teachers may be able to control it, but you're not going to be able to control the kids once they leave their classroom. Walking down the hallway.
What level of school is that? Middle school or high school?
It's middle and high, and middle school is just extreme. So I don't know how. And then somebody said something this morning on the radio, like special ed kids. How are you going to handle that? Those kids have to be, when I worked at special ed, man, we had to change those kids. We had to change their diapers. We had to feed them, all that stuff, so.
Look at these comments; they're flowing in. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Jasmine said she's a high school teacher. She said, "I see all sides of the situation, but I do not agree with reopening." And again, let me repeat: I don't agree with reopening. I just understand why Governor Cooper may have to or had to make some of the decisions that he made. Erica
He's trying to make his position known so he don't get crucified.
Listen, no, crucify.
I am not for. Okay, go ahead, Trey.
Erica says, well, the school board is still hosting virtual meetings. They aren't having face-to-face meetings. So until that happens, we need to keep them home. And just for our viewers that are just coming in, don't forget to share. Don't forget to share. If you have not shared yet, please share. We're talking about hypocrites tonight. We're just having this little conversation.
That's a great segue. Those school boards are hypocrites having virtual meetings, but sending our kids to physical school.
Well, Lady Nicole has spoken. Here's what she says. It's not a good idea. He ain't asking no educators for advice, and I'm sticking to that. That's what
I'm sure she didn't sound like that.
You don't think so?
Nah.
How she sound, Sherman? Do it.
It's just not a good idea. He ain't asking no educators for advice. I'm sticking to that.
That is okay.
She has a yeah, she's gonna get us.
Keith says, I think he made the best decision that he could given the circumstances. Like you all said, given the way he has handled things throughout the pandemic, I don't think this was his necessarily choice he wanted to make. Jasmine said it right. Okay. You have to think about the parents who work and can't stay home. Now, that was I was looking at a lot of parents talking about their working and stuff. So if you're in Fayetteville, my daycare center is available. All right, please.
Yeah, so my wife said that they actually got an email at work saying that they need to report to work on July 28th, no matter what. And they have several employees who, have kids in school. So it's like some parents don't have a choice. They're going to have to send their kids to school and hope they don't get something.
Wow. They had a town hall here for Cumberland County Schools today, virtual. I don't know if it was as effective as they expected it to be, but it was informative. But one of those things that they were talking about was that whole childcare thing. A lot of parents were concerned. Like, when I go to work, y'all telling me to come to work and teach. What am I going to do with my child? And the only answer I heard them give was that, and this is not a government, this is not a Governor Cooper issue. This is a local school board decision. But their thing was, well, we got prime time. Well, prime time is normally after school, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. So
I don't know all about it though. But
say it again.
I said I don't know all about it, but my experience with it is mainly after school.
Yeah. All right. So is he ready? Okay, cool. All right. Everybody, welcome, brother Brandon. Brandon is here, guys. Brandon, say what's up.
Headroom.
Oh yeah.
I'm coming. Hello.
Not hello.
I'll pull you back out. Let you get that straight.
Test me.
The Lord bless you, Reverend Brandon.
The Lord bless you all.
I know why you were late, man.
Glad to be on tonight. Oh God.
You in there crossing up that dog.
I was putting the moves on that boy. Man, listen, I juked that boy out his shoes, man. That dog was turning circles when I got done.
Did you feel good about it, Brandon?
Yeah. Listen, it's an accomplishment. That dog know how to. Hey, he know how to play defense. I thought he be reaching his paw. He's smart. I just got him that time.
All right, real
That's
quick,
all.
and we're gonna move on, get into our topic. I just want to read a couple of these comments because they're really good. Michelle says, and I'll say this is a good topic for Brandon here. Please take the advice of Governor Cuomo. Is that how you pronounce his name, Cuomo? Of New York?
Brandon?
Cuomo.
Oh, Cuomo. These kids are not getting
Cuomo. Yeah, Cuomo. Like the guy on CNN.
Hey, Brandon, So, do you know
Yeah,
what our system is doing exactly right now?
I mean, it's he's not going to take chances. So our governor's been playing it safe with everything. So he's going to do the same thing now. That's why New York's cases are where they are. And like I said to y'all last week, you know, we trying to keep out all you Southerners for as long as we can. You know, and part of that is because, you know, he's been taking it serious from the beginning. We've been under the mask restriction, you know, having to wear the mask from the beginning. So, you know, he's going to do the same thing with schools. They're going to open up if he thinks it's safe. If not, they're going to be closed. That's good leadership. He's got a backbone. He's going to stick with how he feels, regardless of how other people feel. No, if he doesn't feel it's safe, no.
Right now he's not doing anything. So in a little while, if he sees the progression, you're saying then he will, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think our mall just opened last week.
Oh wow.
So everything's really, really slow. You probably have to ask Nicole to make sure.
Here's a huge thing right here. Brianna Meakin said this, y'all. She says, I work with special needs kids. They are at high risk. And that is very true. I was thinking about that earlier while I was watching the town hall that I told you guys about. But she really, she really hit that, the nail on the head there. North Carolina seems to have everything under control opposed to Atlanta. It's a complete mess right now. Aaron, we can't see you. Parents are complaining they don't have babysitters, so they would much rather prefer their kids go to school just so they can go to work. How do you handle that? I mean, I understand you can't jeopardize the baby's lives, but what do you do for parents who have jobs? Make them quit. I don't know.
It's so weird. No, it's a weird situation. I think every parent, I think parents are just going to have to make decisions, and I hope that. I mean, it's hard to do it now, to have community now like used to, but you hope that in some sections we able to form some safe havens and form community where they're able to take care of children that, you know, for people who have to go to work. I mean, this is a weird time. So I think you just have to make the best decision for your family. I mean, the Bible says, you know, if you need wisdom, ask. I think that's the best moment right now to really just ask God for wisdom on how to best take care of your family, your finances, your children, your health, all of that. Because, there is no, right or wrong answer, and really, honestly.
Right. Yeah. I want to say this right quick. Jasmine said that WCPSS, they're working on childcare outreach for teachers with children. And I think that's something that every school system should do. If you have a child and you're a teacher, they should help at least, provide some level of assistance to you and see how they can work that out with the county and stuff like that. Erica said when she gets elected, she's pushing for change. All right, Erica. All right, y'all. Wait, I just want to put this out there. She says she gonna say it again. Shauna says she gonna say it again. School is not free daycare. There's currently no clinical data on the effects of this virus in pediatric patients. All the data they have is post-mortem on adults. She's educated, guys. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm just joking, Sean. I'm just joking. I'm really just joking, okay? I'm just joking. All right, y'all, we're getting ready to get into this topic tonight. I really believe that we're going to have some fun with this conversation and talk about this tonight. One of the things that sparked this, guys, is I don't know if you guys seen, but Pastor Brandon actually posted earlier about he posted earlier this week about this particular topic, and I wanted to see how far we could take it on the show. And so let's talk about it real quick. Our topic tonight: can a Christian be wow? Who wrote this? Huh? Who wrote this mess? Who wrote this? Who did this? My God! Can a Christian be a hypocrite? That's the question tonight on the board. Can a Christian be a hypocrite? And so, first, yes or no? What are your thoughts? I believe that. No, I'll wait. I'll wait for me. So, What do you think? Do you believe a Christian can be a hypocrite? Sherman.
Did you say I'll wait for me?
Yeah, I'll wait to answer. I'll wait.
Let the people answer first.
Okay, yeah, let's see what you guys say then.
Wow. Wow. Look at that comment.
What comment?
Hold on.
I can't see. Oh.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wow.
On Trayvon.
Wow.
Y'all scaring me. Hold on. There's a lot going on here.
That's a good comment right there, boy. But I'm gonna be honest with you. That's actually what I was gonna say, and that's all I had to say.
Wow. Okay.
It feels good when people pay attention to you.
Don't it?
And she's not even a member of mine. I did a revival at her church.
I am reminded of a teaching that Pastor Blandon did earlier this year on this topic. Aaron, are you lifted up so you can be seen over the banner? Y'all gonna see me. Y'all gonna.
Man, finish reading, man.
One thing I remember him saying, it's on the screen. They can't read it. One thing I remember him saying is that hypocrite in the Greek means actor.
She took some good notes.
Lines, rehearse, and play roles without becoming. Hypocrites play roles in public that they don't practice in private. It's all about the persona of a life that they don't actually live.
Well,
yes, sure can. Shauna says, I think the whole back section has left. Trina says yes. Antonio says yes. Shanetta says yes, and I'm not explaining it.
Dun.
Joanna says, let's start with the definition of hypocrite first. Sherman?
Yeah.
Oh, this was the definition. Here's the definition.
He already gave us the definition.
Right, here's the definition in Greek. All right.
Oh, man.
So can a Christian be a hypocrite?
Absolutely.
You believe so? Brandon?
Is there anybody that would say no? And what would be their reasoning for saying no?
Okay. Tiffany said in the end.
Well, maybe, I think that maybe, am I still choppy? First of all,
No,
I'm trying to get myself together, y'all.
You're good.
Okay. One of my members was saying that it might be that sometimes we get people in process confused with people who are hypocrites. And
you said one of
I
your
think that
members
we
said
have
that?
to sometimes Yeah, one of my members was talking to me about that. And I think that we have to reevaluate. Just because somebody does something that I don't like doesn't mean they're a hypocrite, right? And oftentimes people throw that word out so fast that they don't realize that some people are just in process. Some people, God is still working on them. It's not that they're being an actor. They are who they are, and they're trying to get better, right? And so I think that we have to stop just throwing that word. I had somebody this morning, and that's where my question came from. They said most Christians are hypocrites. And that's where my frustration came in, because it's not most anything, right? I'm done with this dude. But it's not most anything, right? I mean, there are some people that are acting, that are playing the part right now. But the true, reality is that there are a lot more people who are just trying to get better, right? They're in process. And so I think that that's where we need to really work on, not just throwing that word out because somebody made us upset at church.
Right. I think that happens often. People condemn other people and call them such things simply because they didn't get what they like, But again, we got to go back and look at that definition that Kay, I believe it was, brought up to us, that Pastor Sherman had said some time ago, that hypocrites remember lies and play roles without becoming. they play roles in public so they don't have to practice in private. Excuse me, they play roles in public that they don't have to practice in private. And it's a persona. That's the point right there. It's all about the persona life that they don't live. So, what were y'all doing? You know, I can see. Oh boy. Yeah. So okay, wait. Noah Clark says this is another big one, guys. They're hypocrites because they're not fully surrendering into the will of God. And sometimes it's those same people that have been in church all their life, but their problem is they've never fully changed, accepted a life like Christ. What do y'all have to say to that? Sherman,
why would you ask me?
No, I just said, Sherman, close your mouth. Yeah, you dropped your jaw drop.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say because they haven't fully surrendered. Because then if that's the case, then what would we say to Paul, right? When he said, I have a thorn, and we can't really speak for Paul and say what his thorn was. We do know it was a struggle, however, regardless of whatever, whether it was health or, whatever else the case may be. But I'm along the same lines as Brandon when he was saying, we have to define when someone's struggling to, and fighting versus when someone is willfully doing something, premeditatedly, like have no intentions of changing. I think that's where we have to sit, where people who just like, again, an actor is someone who doesn't take it with them, right? They come, they learn their lines, and then they move on, right?
Right.
A person is not a hypocrite if they come to church and they fall, right, or they mess up. I think it's a matter of the heart, and that's why, again, like Brandon said, we have to be careful not to label people hypocrites, because we won't really always know the intentions of their heart. I think Aaron Jr. said something. We've got to be careful to label people and watch what people, watch how we, damage people when they fall, because we don't know how hard they had to fight before they fail, right? Whatever, man. So I think we've got to be, real careful in how we label people, whether it's young or old, right? Because just because you're old, it still does not excuse you from, certain, struggles. Again, Paul quoting Paul in Romans 7, he had this issue: when I would do good, right, evil is there. I find myself doing the things that I don't want to, and then the things that I want to do, I find myself not being able to do. So, there's that fine line of, I think what makes a person a hypocrite is the intentions of their heart. Like what's really going on in your heart. I hope that makes sense.
Which is why Jesus says, you hypocrites, you honor me with your mouth, but your heart is far from me.
Right. And which, I was going to say that in Matthew 6. No, seriously. In Matthew 6, Jesus was talking to his disciples about the fasting and the praying and all of that, and saying, like, yo, you're acting because this is what you grew up on, right? It never attached to your heart.
Oh.
So
that's
and
so
and I'm gonna say this because when Jesus says you hypocrites, he's really talking to leaders too, right? Yeah. And so I'm not saying that people who are not leaders are not held to a standard, but when we're talking about that hypocrite role, we're really talking about those people who are out in front and the loudest and all of that may be acting. And so really that hypocrite, that word is really a call to leadership more than I think it is a call to those who are trying to get themselves together and working and are in process. That's just my thought from that.
Somebody said that.
A lot of in-depth Bible teaching.
And Brandon, not necessarily that those individuals who are not in leadership, not that they're not held accountable for that type of behavior, but if we who are leaders, this is just the piggyback off what I'm saying, if we who are leaders would lead by the example that we should, then people will follow that. You know what I'm saying? People will mimic our behavior. And if our behavior does not say hypocritical, then we won't see so many hypocrites within the lay, if you will. So that's that. Let's look at some of these comments because I actually like some of the stuff that's being said. Noah said, "Oh wait, not
a lot of people are going in tonight."
Yeah. So I believe April says. So I believe Christians can be a hypocrite. A Christian can be a hypocrite. Yes, but I also believe because some expect Christians to be perfect, that when we are less perfect, or your expectation of what a Christian should be, it's easier to say someone is a hypocrite.
That's my member.
So you had to put your shades on for that one. Aaron, no, Aaron, you did that. You're supposed to sit back. You're supposed to sit back with that. That's my member. That's my okay. That's I like that. Okay. And I agree with that. That a lot of times the expectation is not met. And well, I think Brandon, you alluded to it earlier. The expectation is not met. So then people start to identify. Can I say this? Your experience in a moment should not define your perception forever. You know what I mean? So we've got to be careful that our moment of engagement with a person or something does not make us say that's how they are. Or, you can say this is how they made me feel, or this is what they showed me in that time. But I don't think we should label that person as such. And we got to be careful with that. I don't think we do a good job of that at times. Here's what Shonda says. And I believe that earlier when Brandon was talking. Go ahead, B.
No, I was just going to say you just can't get so upset that you just throw it out there. And I was just agreeing. I mean, people just trying to look for a word when they're upset, and it's like, you hypocrite.
Right.
Y'all are hypocrites. No, we just not making you happy right now. And some people can't understand that I'm looking more like God when I don't make you, God doesn't always make us happy. Sometimes there's things that he does that frustrate us. Right. Yeah. And so I look more like God when I'm not always, pleasing you and making you happy with how we interact. And so I think that's just where I'm going. But go ahead, keep sharing the comments, man. It's some good stuff.
I was going to say, Shonda says, but if you are in process, and I believe this is when Sherman was talking earlier. I mean, when you were talking earlier, Brandon. But if you are in process, do you not make a conscious effort to quell those switch ups? We know better when we know better, we do better. So I believe it's important that we do try to deal with those issues that we have, even if you're in process. But again, as Brandon alluded to earlier, if leaders would identify who they are and stand strong in who they are and who they're supposed to be according to the scriptures, then those who are in process will follow suit. But a lot of times leaders are not fully confident in who they are, and leaders don't follow suit in who they should be. You know what I'm saying? And so people are left to try to figure out themselves in God, try to figure out who they're supposed to be. And so they're surfing a lot.
I mean, I just want to say, again, just because you know better don't mean you will do better, right? Like, you can know that you shouldn't have that last piece of chocolate cake, but that don't mean you're not going to eat that last piece of chocolate cake because you want it. You have that desire for it. And so there's some people who are in process. They know better. They're trying to do better, but they may not always do better. That doesn't mean they're hypocrites. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that there aren't hypocrites, but there are people who are not acting. They got a problem with gluttony, and they can't help. If there's cake and I'm just I'm just being transparent. I had the other day I made a dump cake and had the cherry pineapple dump cake. Oh yeah, I ain't playing no games, man. I kept going to the fridge. I was trying to tell myself, stop, but you know better, but sometimes you don't do better. And I think that it's a process for everybody.
I like it. All right. After being old and you still doing the same old thing and preaching, when is the pastor heart going to change? Wow, we're going to the pastor. Let's deal with it. When's your heart going to change?
Why? Okay.
Because earlier we talked about leaders. Sure. Before you ask that question, because I know my brother. We mentioned leaders earlier, so he's asking about pastors that have been hypocritical for years. When is it? We don't know when the pastor's heart going to change.
Well, okay, hold on. No, let's go back to that, because at that moment they're not being a hypocrite. They're actually, it's what's the same, like if you've done something for so long, it actually comes, like Brandon was saying, they're not acting. It's a part of who you are. So, you know, and just because you do it for a long time doesn't make it right. But what the word, what we're saying is, hypocrite is someone who acts one way, right? And does something another way. So my thing is, after being old and you still doing the same old thing and preaching, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, let's go to the next one.
Okay. Well, I just say this real quick. That we, again, my thing is, we also have to make sure that we remember that we don't have all the answers. The brothers are not saying that they have all the answers. However, what we are doing is trying to just shed some light in certain areas. And so I want to say that I just want to make this clear. We don't know when a pastor's heart is going to change or whatever, right? Let's say that pastor is a hypocritical person, we don't know when it's going to change. And that's not our responsibility. Neither is it your responsibility to make that person's heart change. However, you have to be secure in who you are in God enough that even if their heart doesn't change, you serve your purpose. You serve like you're supposed to. But that brings me to, and I know we have some other comments and we can come to those, but just while we're here, it brings me to the next question that's on our lineup here, brothers. And I do want to go ahead and try to jump to this question if I can, okay? And could the issue be you? Is it possible that the person that we're talking about is not the hypocrite, but perhaps we have a hypocritical heart and spirit? Is that possible? Could it be possible that we're looking at somebody else and saying they're what we really have an issue with dealing with? Is that possible? What do y'all think about that?
Asked and answered, Your Honor.
All right, guys, here we go. Next question. What do you think? Do you think you can?
Can I say something real quick though? I want to say something real quick. Somebody asked what was our definition of hypocrite. I think we said it earlier that it's actor. I just want to make sure we put it out there again, just in case some people came on late and missed it. And then when you're saying, it's fine. When you say an actor too, these are people who can play emotion, and that we're not talking about them when we say that these people are who they are. We're talking about people who mess up and feel bad about it. That's who we're talking about. I want y'all to understand. I'm not talking about people who are acting, who are faking it. They'll be held accountable by God. God holds them accountable, not us. We can't hold people accountable. But we are, when I say what I'm saying, I'm talking about people who are genuinely sorry for what they've done. They made a mistake and they have to face the consequences of their mistake, but they're still working it out. And behind it, not all that kind of stuff, but people who are genuinely sorry for the mistakes that they've made and they're trying to work it out. An actor, the hypocrite, is somebody who has absolutely no connection with God, but is playing a role in leadership or in position in front of people. And that's where I look at it. All right. And we can go back to Trayvon's question. I just saw it and wanted to share.
No, that was good. Okay. Caitlin says this. She says, I say no. I believe a hypocrite to be someone who acts a certain way that is contradicting to what they claim to be their moral beliefs. So, Pastor Sherman, how many times can someone fall before they're labeled a hypocrite?
So I'm assuming that was referring back to what I was saying earlier. How many times, can you put it back up? Can a person fall before they're labeled a hypocrite? Okay. As many times as they can get back up and ask for forgiveness, right? I think if a person falls and they ask for forgiveness, then who are we to label them as a hypocrite?
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. When we ask for forgiveness, that's it. It's settled. It's done. Right. Unless we keep bringing it back up, it's not our position to say, yo, you keep falling to the same thing. Well, they keep getting up. That's what brought David to the point where he became a man after God's own heart. He had a repentive heart, right? As much stuff as David did, and he repeated cycles, his heart was connected with God, which is what we're saying. Why did Saul get cut off immediately? Because, for being disobedient. Because his heart was wicked. His heart was stoned. His heart was for himself and not God, which is what we're talking about. And I know it's hard to sometimes approach it in that manner, but we've got to get to the place that where if God forgives them, then who are we to keep it hanging over their head?
Right. Okay. Let's look at this one.
For a saint is just.
I'm gonna say this.
Oh my God, Donnie.
We gotta remember that just because people do mess up or because they do fall, they don't deserve a label at the time that they fall. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's fair to label people because they fall. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know how to.
And I want to say this because we keep talking about leaders and stuff. We've got to be careful because there are leaders who have been processed, and then there are leaders who have been unprocessed, right? Meaning they went before their time or they weren't even called. And sometimes those are the ones that make the mistakes and make the rest of the disciplined leaders look bad. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got mad and decided to start their own church. Well, they were unprocessed, right? They were undisciplined. They couldn't control their flesh, and wrong the church. And so like we got to start to look at the disciplined leaders who who have paved the way. And no, they weren't perfect, but they showed that you can make mistakes and keep it moving and not be labeled a hypocrite. So I think once we take our focus off of those type of leaders, who make it bad for the rest of us, I don't even think that word hypocrite would have as much power as it does.
Okay. Let's look at this next question here. So, where do you place the person that knows better but doesn't do better?
Where do you place the person that knows better but doesn't do better?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's up to who they're subjected to, right? Like for example, I have a covering. I have a father. I have some, even though I'm a pastor, I have someone that I answer to, right? And I'm submitted to him. I think that's a huge thing too, is that if I were doing something and started becoming hypocritical, he would reel me in with his rod, right? And his staff and discipline me, right? And I'm using that term loosely, but he would discipline me and get me back to a place where, hey, I think discipline is important, and that's why it's important for everybody to be subjected to somebody, so that we can have those checks and balances. I don't think anyone should be out here being a renegade. So when someone starts to portray hypocritical behavior or behavior that isn't kingdom-like, they should be disciplined by whoever they're submitted to.
I like that. And I want to consider the fact that this conversation could possibly, this question that was asked could possibly just be referring to also at what point, excuse me, I got to find, where do you place that person? When she said, where do you place? I want to consider the fact that she could be simply asking morally, like, is this person a hypocrite because they don't do better? I think that's not really an issue with your with you being an actor. I think that's an issue with your character altogether. You get what I'm saying? Like you just have an issue with following through with being, doing the right thing, you know. And so, I guess you gotta keep in mind this. Can somebody find the actual definition of a hypocrite? Like I know what the Greek translation says and what the Pastor Sherman Blandon definition is that we're going with tonight, which is a phenomenal definition.
Yeah.
But I'm just,
I'm sure that's not his definition. That's just the actual.
Say it again. No,
nothing.
What I'm going by.
I wasn't letting him get his shine. Go ahead.
My bad. I stole that. My bad. Okay. Another thing Pastor Blandon said to his teacher: you're not a hypocrite because you failed. Falling doesn't make you a failure. It means that you are human. He said, when you are pretending to be something you are not, it's when you step over into hypocrisy. Pastor Sherman, the floor is yours. And tonight, what we're going to do is allow you to just teach us.
I mean, my God.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Jesus Christ, your whole the notes from your whole sermon up here, I could preach it.
Was I a hypocrite?
Everyone standing, please.
All right.
Everyone standing.
Was I a hypocrite when I did character and went to McDonald's?
Yes. Yes.
Brother Aaron.
I love it. I love it. Hey, pull that back up.
McDonald's was special.
Yeah. I want to point that out, right? You fail or fall. Falling doesn't make you a failure. It means you're human. And I think sometimes we have to get to that place where we, realize that we are human. For all have sinned and fallen short. We're going to fall short. We're going to make some mistakes. And again, when you are pretending to be something that you are not is when you step over into hypocrisy. I think one of the things that makes it hard for pastors is that we have to, there aren't too many times where we can step over into transparency.
Yeah.
Without losing the respect that it requires to continue to lead people.
Yeah.
So oftentimes, no, we don't walk as if we're perfect, but we have to shield ourselves and not be as transparent as we would like to be to show people that we're not perfect, right? And you know what? Patrick is like that presiding bishop who walks in when the choir is singing and don't nobody want to listen to the choir anymore. Everybody's looking at that. Come on,
all rise.
This is the church. Oh, sorry. But yeah, so we're, I think that's one of the things that kind of makes it hard for leaders is that we can't be as transparent as we need to be sometimes. And so when a leader does fall, because the public opinion puts us on a pedestal of perfection, whenever we don't reach that pedestal, then we're now classified and deemed as hypocrites. When it wasn't, we were hypocrites, we fell short because we were human.
My God.
So
check out, here's the actual definition. Shonda and
I was reading.
A person who pretends to have virtues, moral or religious beliefs, principles, etc., that he or she does not actually possess, which is being an actress. All right, so check this out real quick because there's a question that came up in the comment section that I think
I actually had read that already and prepared for the show, but
what was that, B?
I ain't want to say nothing.
What you talking about?
I had already read that and prepared for the show. The definition of a hypocrite.
Oh.
I was preparing for the show. I thought you have already read it as well.
Yeah, no, but no. I think if you were gonna read it, then why not let me read it? You were gonna give it to us. Everyone, welcome.
Well, that's how you. All right, I understand.
Everyone, welcome to tonight.
I get you. I'm with you.
Big Brother Pat is here. Everyone, welcome Big Brother Pat to the show tonight. Good to see you, Brother Pat.
Grace and peace.
How's it been? You doing all right?
Doing well, and yourself?
Doing great, sir. All right, y'all. So
What's
check
going
this
on?
out. Here's the question. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's not the one. Well, yeah, that's the one. Yeah. How do you, as a leader, approach the hypocrite? Where is my?
With you approach them with the same grace that you need to be approached.
I'm thirsty.
I think that's a great answer.
Yeah.
And
Restore them gently.
in my opinion, well, let me ask you this: do you think it's difficult to approach a hypocrite as if they're not a hypocrite? Let me ask that before I say what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you know that they are hypocritical, or they have hypocritical ways, right? But the question is, when you approach, Aaron, I said I'm question short. I'll get straight to the point, and you're the one. You are the one. How dare you? No, but the reason I was saying that is because when I approach someone with an issue, right? I try to not deal with them as if they have that issue. Of course I deal with the issue, but I try to deal with them because I feel like if you go with that mindset, this person is hypocritical and they have a problem. I go with them with the chip on my shoulder almost. You know what I'm saying? It's like I have to erase that in order to give them that grace. Because grace says, I know what you did, but I don't hold that against you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I believe.
So for me, as a leader, I have the responsibility to rebuke, but I cannot rebuke without having relationship, right? It won't really work. And as far as pastoring, and so I think that I need to build up relationship with that person. If I have that relationship with them, then I can be honest with them and say, hey, this is the issue. And then kind of go from there. We have to be honest with our members when we see they're struggling with something. If we won't tell them, who will? Right.
Yeah.
I think that for me, to point it out.
I think that was
you have to have relationship.
I think that was a great question. I don't know who it was that. Okay, Trey. I don't know who asked it, but I think that was a great question. And Brandon, I think that was a perfect answer for that question because it goes back again to, are you submitted enough to receive that correction and rebuke, right? Because, we all know, you can't just go out and whoop people's kids, right? We all seen that bad kid in the store that we want to just be like, hey, listen to your mom, but you can't because they're not submitted to you. And I think, when you're in that place of error, you need that voice. David, who was it? The prophet Samuel that came and talked to David about his error and his ways and was like, telling him a story. And David was like, oh, that man ought to be dealt with. Like, you are that man, right?
I think that was Nathan.
Nathan, thank you. Appreciate it. And
Nathan,
first of all, Pat, don't look at me like that again. Pat. You didn't have to make that look, all right?
Hey, pride. We just talked about pride last week.
Well, that look like you idiot. That was the look like you amateur. Like you gotta take my preaching license away from me. I'm sorry, Pat. No, I'm forgive me, oh thou Pat. But but yeah, I mean, David had his ear open to Nathaniel. And he had his ear open and he was able to receive that correction and that rebuke. And I think in that instance that could be, Brandon, or y'all correct me if I'm wrong, that possibly could be a moment of hypocrisy for David that was corrected by Nathan.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying
if we go by the definition, I'm saying if we go by the definition that he, I don't think David was acting right. I mean, he just fell. But if you take the way we look at hypocrites now, people could definitely point out and be like, yeah, David's a hypocrite. If we use that definition that we just throw out loosely.
Right.
But he just was human and made some mistakes. and he got called out. It don't matter where, and that's the thing. It doesn't matter if you the top leader or you to the youngest, right? I mean, whenever we are making mistakes, we have to be humble enough to take that correction. Absolutely. And be submissive. I have to submit to my leadership, and if they tell me, hey, listen, you're not doing this right, you need to readjust some things, I got to be humble enough to say, all right, I hear you.
Right.
So
I'm with it.
I don't know what the next question is. We kind of
sorry about that.
All right.
I had to find a charger. Anyway. All right, check this out. I noticed, can you be a hypocrite and still get to heaven? The people want answers, guys.
No. I mean,
Brandon, you said no?
I'm not going to answer this one. No, I'm not. That's not my answer. I'm not answering it.
You're not going to answer it at all?
I'll let you all answer this one. I'm not answering this one.
Here's my thing.
It's too much for me to unpack.
It's too weighty.
It's too what?
That question's too weighty. It's too meaty.
It is. It has a lot to it, but let's just, in essence, we have to look at the character of Christ. Is the character of Christ one that reflects hypocrisy? No. And so, can that enter into heaven? Can hypocrisy enter into heaven? Does the person who's a hypocrite still have the opportunity to repent? Absolutely. But if a person lives as a hypocrite, I'm just saying, repentance is necessary for the hypocrite. I came back away from that too. I believe it. I'll stand up.
Amen. You've answered that question for us.
I've answered for everyone. I got a chance to answer.
Next question.
I'm just here for the comments.
No, Patrick's here so he don't get fined. That's why he's
right.
I'm just here for the comments.
Next question. Are you receiving a revelation on the show?
My room door just opened.
So something was wrong with your answer you just gave.
I don't know what I was getting ready to do, but I just realized that I didn't close it all the way. Now that thing scared the mess out of me. All right, so real quick. That's okay.
That was when we were asking about going to that person, and she was saying, did God reveal it to you that they were a hypocrite, or is it just your perception? So we have to watch how we approach people, because we could go saying one thing and not be truthful.
Okay, cool. And just so you know, Sister Hall, I did not remove that because I didn't want to answer. It's just that I was not in for that part of the conversation, so I didn't know what was on. All right. So you all know this too. This had to be in there. Bryant said, "Is it a mistake or is it a bad choice?" I'm guessing this was based upon the conversation
we talking about David.
Yeah, I think that was when we were talking about David.
I think it's about David. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, let's go back up real quick after that question about how do you handle it. Someone said delicacy and diplomacy. Mm-hmm. And then Serena said, and correct them in and with love after building that relationship. Mm-hmm. That's what I see. So I just want to pull that up. All right. And Joanna Quick says same grace. So I believe that was in agreement with what Pastor Aaron has said. All right. So is it possible that a person can be hypocritical without intent? It's not their intent. They don't intend to be that way. Is that possible at all?
Based on the definition that I went through.
Based on the definition, what, sir? I'm sorry.
I don't think so. And this is just this is my opinionated answer. So, and if somebody wants to correct me, that's fine. But I think a hypocrite is a continuous repeat offender, right? Someone that purposely, continuously tries to hide, cover, enact something that they're not, and that's what, again, differentiates a person who's struggling versus a person who's being hypocritical. A struggle is someone, who, has some tough moments, they're battling, going back and forth. A hypocrite is someone who just jump headfirst into it,
Right.
and look for ways to cover it up,
Yeah.
And not feel bad at all about
right. Again,
what
that
they're doing.
intent of heart. So I don't think you can do it without intent. I think you know exactly what you're doing.
I think that's good.
I agree.
All right, y'all. We got one more question, I believe, and I know that this kind of relates to the other question, but how do you help someone who is considered a hypocrite? And I guess at this point we're looking at how do you help not restore them, but bring them to a place where they can get out of that. What's some practical stuff we can do to help somebody who may be watching tonight who says, "Okay, I realize that I have some hypocritical ways. How can we help that person deal with that?"
I think that your circle plays a major part in that. You got to have the right people around you that will correct you and keep you in check.
Yes,
If one of us did something crazy, we would immediately say something about it, to keep each other and hold each other accountable.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. That's huge.
That's all we got. Yeah.
The circle is so important. No, I mean, I'm with it because you have to have that circle of people who you will receive from, right? We already said that circle of people who, that will call you out and that you will receive from. And so if your circle is a group of people who aren't true to God, then you're going to be that. But if you surround yourself with people who are trying to live a life that God will be pleased with, they'll, make sure that you stay on that right track. And so I think we need to, it's all about trying to, change your environment.
I think I'm with that answer. Like, I'm loving it because you got to have people who will cover you, not cover up for you, right? And I think a lot of times we want people to cover up for us. There's an extreme difference there. Like a person who's covering you, like, hey, yo, you made a mistake, but get yourself together, da 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 da. A cover up is somebody like, yo, I know what you're doing, and I'll lie for you. I'm not going to, correct it right. I
see you, dog. Yeah.
And I'm like, you got to have people. What are you doing, Trey?
What in the world? Stop,
bro. This is live, bro.
No, nothing was happening on my end. Sorry, guys.
It's happening on our end,
Trey.
Well, my bad. I see it now.
Go back.
I mean, my God.
He's my God too. Quit being selfish. Just talk.
I got to changing the screen.
Trying to hide.
I was like, is it working? And then Pat's face crushed up. I was like, maybe not. Then Aaron sat back. I was like, oh, shoot, I think I'm doing something. And then you stopped in the middle of talking. I was like,
I think I'm done talking tonight. Patrick made his grand entrance, and the media team, Trey, over here trying to, what kind of convocation is this? I'm done. I'm good.
Okay. Hey, no. Hey,
Sherman said, man, we're live. We're live.
But just before we get into some of these comments that are right here, I want to say this real quick. The One's Gotta Go session is up. Hey, one thing I love, brothers, is during the week, people are sending me these One's Gotta Go joints that they want to see up. They want to know what the brothers think about certain things. So yeah, I'm getting some of this. So I'm gonna show you guys tonight. We got some more that's gonna come up for our inbox. What'd you say, Matt?
This better not be nothing crazy, man.
Listen. So some people have sent some stuff in to us, y'all. So let's read some of these comments real quick. That may be their weakness. Then she says, "Is everyone 100% as it relates to being Christian?" Let me get this off here. I don't like that. There we go. Then she said that maybe the witness. Gail Adams says, "Seek true relationship with and through Christ. Strong believers through prayer and deliverance, and opening up for accountability." She's that's one of our YouTube viewers. Says that.
I think there's also a question that we need to ask, that we need to bring up.
What is that, sir?
Pastor John Hoskins asked that question. I think that's a very important question.
Why the camera never mess up while Trey talking? Because Trey can't do more than one thing at a time, so he's not messing with those things while he's talking. As you can see now, your question's still on the screen, but as soon as I stop talking, see what happens? See what happens?
Translation: He gives nobody else the same respect he gives himself.
Nicole done fired me, so
that's why he's fired.
Miss Tiffany Mason says, "Y'all are my Tuesday night comedy." Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. All right. A person with company. What's wrong with this dude? That's good groceries. All right, so we got that. So y'all, what's coming up now is our Ask the Brothers segment. We're going to skip over that tonight. We didn't get any questions in. Did we get questions this week for that, y'all?
So we talked about hypocrites tonight?
I don't know why. I'm about to do the same thing.
My internet went out. What happened?
Pat just randomly said, "So we talk about hypocrites tonight?" And Sherman logs off the screen.
Really, man?
Really? These are not certificates of completion. Well, that is. However, our degrees on this wall, Joker. All right? This is my ordination. All right? That is my license. That's my associate's degree. That is my real estate license. You got one of those? All right. And this is a certificate of completion. Yeah, no, I don't call out my stuff on the wall. Y'all are the ones that's up here. All right.
Trey. I think you need a cup of humble juice right now.
Doggone it.
That pride has just overtaken you.
I'm done that, because that's the second time John said something about my certificates on the wall.
It's all right. It's okay, man.
Find you another place to sit, son.
What's that?
In fact, I am not next to them. I'm gonna sit right over there. Ain't nothing, but I'm gonna go back to that little eye.
Woo! That was good.
If we were in a more private setting, I would talk about one of those certificates of completion.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Marquita,
and it's not a certificate.
I have a light headache. For real though. That's why I keep putting my face on.
For some reason, that word certificate rubs me wrong. I don't know what it is about that word certificate. I don't think I like it. How many certificates on y'all's wall? Certificates.
We have degrees.
Exactly my point.
I don't have a certificate on my wall.
So what, B?
No, I don't have no certificates.
The way you put that camera over.
Hey, y'all, go ahead and hit that. If you have not done so yet, hit that share button. We're having some fun right now, but hit that share button because we're getting ready to go into the segment. What is it? One's got to go. One's got to go segment. So make sure you share real quick. When we see those numbers hit a certain point, we're going right into that segment. So, yeah. All right, what'd you say, B? Oh, wait. Somebody said, why do Pastor Mac still have on it?
Let's say you printed it yourself.
Say what?
Somebody said you printed it.
Hey, I've already answered Marquita, and she already responded to my answer. You can take her question.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Dang. The spirit has left. So we don't have certificates. We have degrees.
Yeah, I got.
Answer. Would you like to borrow one? I'm confused. Borrow what? What is he referring to now? I think I'm lost.
Your degree.
Would I like to borrow a degree? I have 2 of them, and I'm working on a 3rd.
My God.
Okay.
Humble is the way, Trey.
I'm not being humble on tonight.
Sound like a little hypocrite to me.
And I'm posting my real estate license when I get that.
Sound like a hypocrite to me.
Say what? What you say, Pat?
Sound like a hypocrite to me. Because you just talking about pride last week. You was pushing hard on pride.
I'm not acting.
Oh no, you just a straight hypocrite.
Just straight. No, shut up, brother.
That's just who you are.
Look, Brandon got me about to agree with his tale. Come on, a straight hypocrite. Proudly to a straight hypocrite.
All right, we got a one's got to go it, y'all. Come on.
So look, let's get back into this segment, or get into this. We'll get into the segment called. I said it like we will have to come across the screen.
I thought you were gonna put it across the screen or something.
No, I ain't got nothing. Anybody?
We really
Keep putting everything else up.
What'd you say, Aaron? We really what?
We need a media team.
We do. We need one.
One
gotta go.
Ho!
There it is.
That just came through. I'm telling you, the Saints are blessing the pastor today. My
and
God,
I'm down here thinking you got excited about one's gotta go. Your tail done got $1.
This is enough excitement right here. My God, today.
All right, y'all. One's gotta
My
go.
church.
This was sent in.
My church loves me. Who was funnier?
Fred.
What in the world?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I don't know.
George, what? Fred just had a smart amount.
Fred, by
Fred was funny.
Fred, first of all, was a stand-up comedian.
Yeah. Fred was funny.
Fred was way funnier.
Yeah. I don't even know what I was thinking just then. Fred was funny. Okay. So one's got to go. Then we know who's got to go then, huh?
Sherman's got to go?
Wow. Okay, that's right.
Wow. That was the first. I don't even know how to respond.
All right. Who was your favorite 90s couple? Hey, that's not Will and Jada.
They weren't the couple on.
No, she was in her entanglement.
It was a joke.
Oh my God.
We were supposed to talk about entanglement tonight. What happened?
My favorite was Martin and Gina. Out of that,
I'll say between Martin and Gina and Dwayne and Whitney.
First of all, Overton and Sinclair were dumb.
Wait. Now, if anything, it would be for me. It would be Martin and Gina and Overton and Sinclair because they were very pure and faithful to each other. They had the least amount of drama.
What? Martin and them were faithful to each other too.
That's what he said.
Oh, he said Martin and Gina? Oh, listen.
You stop trying to multitask and pay attention.
Y'all know I'm not doing y'all know I'm not doing A.
Yeah,
y'all know I ain't going A.
Trey, put us back on the screen. What's your problem? What is it? What's wrong with you?
I'm coming, Sherman. Hold on.
Why you do that to them? Why you? No,
what do you mean?
What you got against Martin?
What do you mean?
What you got against Martin? You don't like bad boys? You don't like thin line between?
I don't have nothing against Martin.
Yeah, you do, man. What is it? It's okay.
I have nothing against Martin. I just say that the show is. Would you? I would choose living single over Martin. I'm just saying. I mean,
Brandon, did you see the people's comments about your choice this week?
They don't. They hypocrites. They just actors on a stage.
Brandon, something wrong with you, man.
just actors on the stage, man. Listen, I'm just saying. I'm taking D.
Okay.
Oh, so I see the chat went off. Sorry.
Now, we're gonna put it back up, and then
I ain't making no friends tonight.
all right. So look. So favorite couple was okay. Pierre says single. What's it? Sinclair and Overton. Oh, bro. Sinclair and Overton. Nikki says Dwayne, Wade, and Whitley. When she was gonna say that. Shanita says Martin and Gina. What's with these two answers y'all Saints are giving tonight? A or C? All right, so look, I got a question here. One's got to go, guys. Which one got to go? One's got to go.
B.
Who didn't get married?
I say B.
I don't think any of them got, well.
I'll say B.
Did Martin and Gina ever get married?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Babyface sung at the wedding.
Oh, that's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Brandon, we know you wouldn't know.
Y'all not gonna call him out for that? Nobody's going.
But look.
No, what? Nobody's gonna call him out?
No, not at all.
He's been choosing Martin and don't even know what happened.
Hey,
come on, chat. Call this dude out. Call Trayvon out.
Brian said these lukewarm answers.
Oh God.
Pierre said Will is the only one that didn't get married. I don't remember now. I don't remember Overton and Sinclair getting married.
They
did
definitely
at the end of the show.
They did. They definitely got married.
God,
hey, remember when Whitley was marrying that
dude? Dude, watch the show.
And Dwayne Wade came in?
His name is not Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade is not his name.
I said Dwayne Wayne.
Hey, y'all chill. You know he got them Steve Harveys. He can't pronounce his word.
What does that mean? First of all, Marquita, gotta go. We've done that.
All right.
We've done that already. All right.
Oh my God.
Valerie said, "Where's Whitney and Poppy?"
What in the world?
That's good. Bobby, I love
you.
What's the next one, man?
I know he got this one still up.
Hold on, y'all.
Help him, Lord.
Somebody said he said Wade.
I said Wayne. All right.
Where's the next one?
Hey, this was not a one gotta go, but it's for sent into us. I said, let's do it.
It's a what?
Let's have some fun.
Oh God.
I'm not.
What's up with this background, man?
I really don't know anything about that, guys. Oh, junk. All right. What text would you use for entangled?
John 8.
I don't know. I didn't hear her say.
You didn't hear what, Pat?
John 8:36. I'm sure everybody else would say Galatians.
Whom the Son says free? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would use.
Sounds good.
It would be too predictable to go to Galatians 5:1.
I talk about a woman that was caught in
Then you
adultery.
gotta pull out something that people wouldn't be thinking about with it.
I would use Genesis 1:1.
Ooh, Sherman. Wow.
What?
Right. Wow.
I would use the
Ooh, talk about reaching.
Right.
I'll use the woman caught in adultery.
That's good.
Oh man.
And then make sure we address that she wasn't caught by herself.
Somebody said the ram that was caught in the thicket. Come on, Shanetta, preach that.
Oh God.
I would do Paul. When I would do good, evil is always present.
Which one of y'all are preaching this Sunday? I need a church to visit. Won't
Not
be
at all.
We've already texted each other when all this.
Y'all already got that sermon from Facebook. Y'all don't need us to preach it.
I'm talking about the Lord's Supper.
I ain't preaching it Sunday.
Did you all see Sherman's video?
I'm not even preaching Sunday. I don't know when the last time I preached on Sunday.
Did y'all see Sherman's video?
Yes.
Video.
That thing was good to me. That he
didn't even ask to borrow Cassidy. You could have brought Cassidy.
Man.
He mimicked the Martin episode. Brandon?
Shanetta, that would have worked. That text actually would have worked.
Brandon, he mimicked the Martin episode, man.
Yeah, that would. Oh, I don't care about that crap.
Our viewers, did you all get to see Pastor Sherman's video? If not, I want to show it.
Hey man, you're not about to watch that whole video on the show.
Man, it is like
you're not about to watch that now.
Yeah, tell them to go find it.
No, I'm putting the video on the screen.
I was about to say you send them to his page.
You send them to his page.
Selfish.
Oh my God.
I'm producing this.
You and this
send traffic to his page, please.
Go to MMCC
after
Wilson.
After we finish, go to his page. After we watch it. We'll watch a piece.
We're not watching it right now.
We'll watch a piece of it. Can we watch a piece of it?
No, man. Is there another one's gotta go?
There's not anymore. I can't find them.
Do you know what that means?
Good
night, y'all.
Y'all made him mad.
Good night, y'all. Good evening. We're getting ready to close.
All right, Trey. I'm telling y'all what he's doing right now. I know that face. You still trying to look.
He's pulling up that video.
I know that face.
I found the video.
And he's trying to upload the video.
Thank you, Brother Patrick.
Why are we uploading a video
in the middle of a show
of a man holding a fake dog?
Didn't we say?
Oh, he's serious.
Like nobody could really hear it.
Now,
that's exactly what you get.
First of all, y'all got me out here, and I know y'all wondering why y'all out here.
It's Thursday. Why are we here?
And who is we going to in all this black? First of all, I'm trying to set my mood in my scene. All right? It's hot. Now, I've been at this church 5 years, and I ain't had no issues. And now all of a sudden, somebody trying to take over the church. Oh, I know, man. Everybody, sit down. Sit your transposing self down before I make you play. Sit down, transpose me. I'm gonna sit down.
All right, guys, that's the video.
Hey, sit your transposing self down before I make you play an A.
That thing took me out.
If y'all want to see the rest of that video, go watch it.
He's talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, negative C.
Hey, but Trayvon was killing an A when he came to my church the other day.
Yeah, okay. Let me clear that up because Trayvon doesn't transpose, and people have been giving him the business because of that. He doesn't transpose.
That was hilarious, man.
I could not, and so there's nothing against people who transpose, but I couldn't have a musician that transpose. I changed keys too much. That would be a headache.
Yeah.
It'd be a disaster.
You're not going to talk about musicians that transpose?
I stay in E too long for anybody to play behind me that transpose. So
you say you do what? You do what, Matt?
I stay in E too long.
Oh.
I think we're gonna post some of the behind the scenes and the bloopers of that because it was really funny. We had so many outtakes; it was ridiculous.
Sure, but what made you consider that particular scene?
We like Martin.
Yeah, basically. I mean, and I'm doing a sermon series, The Lord's Supper, on the night in which the Lord Jesus was betrayed. So just try to be as creative as we could. We just try to be creative with it.
Trey said, dang, I transpose sometimes.
It's all right, man. Keep working.
Keep working. Keep counting.
Brandon Nicole said only play preacher chords in one key. Is that right?
That is true. I only taught her one key so she could back me.
What key she played?
That was it.
What
E
key
flat. I taught her E flat.
Now, if I don't have Trey with me and I don't know the musician, I usually just kind of stay in. I'll be like, "What's your strongest key?" and I stay there. But
you in trouble with me. It's not what's your strongest key. It's what can I preach in.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna be like, "What are you?" And I don't like to embarrass musicians. That's not my style.
I give them E flat. Most musicians can play.
I've been guilty of doing that.
Embarrassing musicians, Pat?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
What about it?
I'm gonna tell you about a time that I preached in Clinton, right? And Kevin Johnson Jr. was playing for me. He was just there. He was playing. Do y'all remember this? And Kevin was playing.
Well, he was just doing
and I was in the middle of preaching, and Kevin, it was supposed to be like a praise break or something. And they were late coming in. And when they were late coming in, I looked and I said, "Y'all good musicians, you missed it." And I said, "You missed it, moving on," or something like that. He looked at me, stuck his middle finger up and said, "Oh, mama."
Oh, man.
In the middle of the service. I was like, from that point, I couldn't bother musicians. I just say, "Hey, if you can't, you can't. If you do, you do." I know
how it feels to be embarrassed. I've never personally been embarrassed, but yeah, it's just not a. So I try my best.
I know that.
You've always been great, Sherman. Is that what you're saying? You've always been great.
No, I've just never been in a position.
Oh,
yo, Shanetta, she could play for any of us. She better have learned them chords.
Because you taught it to her, right?
I taught her how to back a preacher in every key. She better have learned it.
And not without the buttons. -1.
Nikki said we need to write out the chords in sheet music, then she can play it.
Oh,
I have time for that.
Behind
somebody.
Is that right, Brandon? Is that how she's classically trained?
Oh.
Is that the right way to say that?
Nicole, yeah, she can read music, piano music. I mean, I taught her E flat, so she can transpose from there.
Yeah, you have to transpose because I
gotta have
can't
a good
write
keyboard
it out for you to read it.
Yeah. Joanna says this. She says, "I will say Pastor Blennon and Pastor McNair have been doing great creatively. The rest of us just suck. All right, we ain't been doing nothing."
Thank you.
We don't about that. Brian said he agrees. John said that's why you come with your own band, so you don't have to worry about that stuff.
That's if you're gonna be embarrassing musicians and stuff. If you know how to work with people,
when you big time, you can do that.
Yeah, if you know how to work with people, then you can go anywhere and work with any musician. It's just you gotta know how to do it with some tact.
Yeah,
that's true. Part is true.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, I just written this. Go ahead. You were gonna say something?
I've seen Patrick embarrassing.
You see what?
I've seen Patrick embarrass musicians.
Who did I embarrass that you see?
Hold on, not yet. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
That's true.
That is not what I said.
Of life.
That is not true.
What's that word that Patrick used to always use? It started with an H. It's not hermeneutics. What's the word? The historicity.
Historicity. You know, as we
historicity.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, we got a question on the floor.
That was that Noel Jones stage.
Hey, before we go to that question, I just want to.
Oh, do you prefer organ or keyboard?
Organ.
Somebody
I
said
can deal with. Well,
a guy named
this
Martin
is
took your lunch money in school. I just wanted to say I saw that.
that was so long ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
I just said I was going back through the comments.
Oh, rude Joker.
Yeah,
rude Joker going all the way back to try to get me.
We're all definitely about Pentecostal preachers. So
I prefer organ. Yeah.
Oregon.
I prefer organ, but I'll take the keyboard if he's very skillful.
Oregon.
Yeah.
But I prefer organ.
All right.
Organ.
You
I don't care.
You gotta be.
I want an organ. I can't wait.
I prefer the full band.
As long as musicians.
I can't have no full band.
Whoa. All right, so I did do that. All right, so what happened was I was preaching, and the drummer was in the back of the church asleep. And then when I started hooping, he started walking to the front, and I told him, "No, you good.
Don't worry about it." I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Here in Raleigh."
Oh wow. Pat, somebody got a question for you.
I remember that.
Yeah. That's my signature. I still do.
What is your signature, Aaron?
I know he still do it.
I don't know if I have.
The only one I stopped saying was, and Sherman made me stop saying this, is I feel preach coming up my back.
Hey. That's okay. Sherman, why you make him stop saying that, Sherman?
Oh God.
It was weird.
It was weird. My back.
Huh?
He used to say, "I'm gonna preach a mini skirt sermon, long enough to cover the subject, but short enough to keep your attention."
Yeah.
Short, long enough to cover the subject, short enough to be attractive. I have not said that in a long time. Thank you. I gotta bring that back out.
I said that to my church a few months ago. They was like, "What?" That's pretty funny. Pat got some good stuff back in the day.
Pat had.
I guess that's my trade, Mark. I guess.
Let everything all shucks. All shucks.
All shucks. Hey, so I want to do this real quick.
What's yours, Trey?
If you smell. No. Sorry, I couldn't hold it.
Shucks. Let everything that have breath praise. That's what I say. Yep. That's my thing. Brandon's is don't say that. Brandon's is there anybody that can help me preach this sermon the best way I know how? Is that right, B? That's not it?
That is correct, sir.
So why you shake your head?
After you got it, I mean, you took a long way to get to it.
I did not take a long way for that.
That's it.
And Sherman, my God.
Man, you said, "Anybody help me preach this sermon?"
I don't have any catch sayings. I preach the gospel. I don't resort to say.
I mean, you start screaming or something, don't you?
Screaming.
Sherman.
Nah, y'all need to go back and watch this. This dude's been killing. He got these key changes that he do with his musician. They do acrobats and backflips and stuff.
Yeah, sure to add these new runs and riffs in his preaching.
Wow, we're gonna do this, guys.
He be killing, man.
I've been doing it.
Hey, do we have that one clip? See Trayvon playing them fresh clips. Do we have that one clip? Oh! Do we have them old clips?
Hey, I was pulling up clips. That's why I'm just quiet.
They've made. I'm gonna be honest with you. They made so much fun of me. I was horrible in hooping, and they made so much fun of me that I just had to practice them.
I'm gonna say
Brandon, where was that one at?
I'm gonna have to say you at the top of the brothers now.
That was in Farmville.
Man, to God.
It was.
To God be the glory.
I don't know where that is though. We gotta find that.
We helped you get. We helped you get there.
but you know,
that
one was.
It was bad. It was.
Yeah,
bad.
I was fully playing behind you, and you changed keys out of nowhere, and I couldn't to save my life.
Yeah, it was bad.
Come on, Mac. Now, no, that's not my fault.
Yeah, it was bad. Hey, but you know what? No, I've never really, and I tell people this all the time. I've never really made a big deal over the hooping. You're not. You better not. I promise. If you do, every comment for the rest of this live will be directed towards you. If you do, Trey, you better not. Not tonight, pal. Not tonight. Don't pull that up.
Sherman.
I heard that.
Okay, well, Sherman, I won't pull that video, but I can pull up a video.
Pull it up. Do it, Trey.
Babe, Sherman, I can pull a video. That video, right?
Oh, do it, Trey. Do it.
All right, so look.
Don't be scared. Don't let him scare you.
Let's save that for one show.
Guys.
Oh my God.
Do it. Don't be scared.
Whoa.
Y'all remember these days?
Join us for today's
wow.
I love it.
Boy, that boy's suit jacket huge.
Marcus.
Wow.
Hey, listen, that's a classic video. That video got like 30-something thousand views, right?
Yeah, 36,874.
Yeah.
We literally.
Is this the one where Aaron Daddy slipped up in him? When he said, my daddy slipped up in me right now. Is that the one?
Man, we legit had like 400, 450 people there that night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, hold up. Yeah. I got one I really want to show you.
Crazy night.
I gotta show this. I gotta show this one, y'all. Y'all remember this shirt?
What's up with Paul? That's what we're gonna do? Right, really? That's what we're gonna do. You wanna play the brother? Okay.
I think that's where I should have started at right there, right? Do y'all remember that church?
I think Aaron was the only one who could have videos back then that he's proud of.
Right.
Nah, because y'all gonna pick either way.
Oh yeah, I mean we can always find something to pick about. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh God, right. Good times.
And let's do that for one show. Bring one of our embarrassing videos.
Yeah, Trey.
I got one.
Trey, where's your videos? Are you on YouTube? No, I'm not being funny. You got videos on YouTube?
I do have videos on YouTube, Brother Sherman.
So why haven't you pulled yourself up? Let a man examine himself, Trey.
I did. I examined myself, and that's why I didn't pull it up.
Brandon, do you have YouTube videos?
Dog, that made me want to go back to that video, y'all.
I do.
Oh yeah, I'm going to look tonight as soon as we get off.
Man, we all were told that night. Hey Mike, I got a slight headache.
Yeah, that was a good night.
Blues Brothers 2020.
That night was the longest ride back to Fayetteville.
Trey, you not gonna pull up one of yours?
No, I'm not. Okay, and what'd you say, Pat?
I said that night was the longest ride back to Fayetteville.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't, Patrick. You want to know the longest ride back to Fayetteville? Is when you had to go to South Carolina to Greenville to Fayetteville. That was the longest ride ever, Patrick.
I don't know why y'all were doing all that.
Why we doing
we did
in that rented car?
We showed style for a platform service, son.
I rented a freaking Expeditions, had 3 miles on it when I got there, had over almost 600 miles when I took it back the next day.
All for what, Patrick? A platform service.
Don't remind me.
Hey, that was pride. That was pride.
Hey, y'all.
Get it off. Aaron, I will remove you. I will remove you. All right, next week. Listen.
I guarantee you, give about 30. Give about 30.
Listen, hold on, Pat, real quick. 46 of y'all are watching us right now.
30 seconds, he's gonna be jumping.
If y'all want next week,
thank you, Brandon. Thank you.
I want us to bring back the past.
Yep.
Next week's episode, we will bring back videos, and here's how it will go. Each brother has to choose a video for another brother, and that's what we're putting on, and we clowning the whole night. What y'all think? Let us know, viewers. What y'all want? Is that what y'all want next week?
I'm not going to say that's what I just said a minute ago, but
no, that's
what I just said.
Aaron, I said it.
But give Aaron, give him his props though. Like you thieved him right there. You just thieved him.
Idea of Brother McNabb. Okay. Oh. All right. So Pat, you were gonna say something.
I forgot.
A 24-hour revival and fish fry. Oh my God.
God, and we thank him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Aaron, that video you just brought up, I thank God that wasn't chosen.
Yeah, but it says the video says it was 2 years ago. Nah.
Y'all remember? Y'all know Trayvon's. Find yourself a praise.
I don't say that no more. That was way back then.
Find yourself a praise.
Hey, now that I think about it, Sherman picked on me. I didn't think so then. I thought he had confidence in me. Sherman used to say, before I would preach, he'd say, "Hey, bro, make sure you tell the people to find themselves a praise. Make sure you say it. Find it." So I was encouraged, but now I realize that nigga was picking on me.
No. That doggone rapture chick got on my nerves.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Yeah.
Was there a time you remember where you absolutely flunked?
I hate y'all. I hate y'all. I don't want to be here right now. I want to go home. I don't want to be on this live no more.
I
don't want to be here no more.
All I'm gonna say, it was so bad that it was one of my dad's first times hearing me preach. And my dad was like, "My God, son, what were you talking about?" I was so mad. Are you reading the Bible? I mean, Jesus. Like, he let me have it.
Oh, man. The way your dad speaks, man.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, my dad is a native Californian, so he has a heavy Californian accent. And he has a heavy voice too. So he was letting me have it. It was bad. I think I read something about Moses and ended up preaching about Revelations. I don't know what I was talking about. I was I confused myself.
I flunked on like a national stage.
Yeah.
For our when we were in the United Holy Church, I was on for the youth convention, and it was me one night, and then Taquan was the next night, and I flopped hard the night before him.
Oh yeah,
it was ridiculous.
It made it even worse that he come behind you.
Yeah, this was made, and I had to introduce him.
Pat, do y'all remember? I know, Matt, you won't remember this one, but Pat Burner and Sherman May. Do y'all remember that time I preached that beauty spot? It was my last time ever preaching that beauty spot. I preached a message back then. Y'all didn't want me.
Now I'm hot. Y'all all on me.
That was the most prideful, ungodly, horrible message I could have ever preached in God's church.
Hold on. Listen.
And he preached it more than one time.
Hold on.
And he had a full.
I never did it again.
He had a full band. and I was on the organ, and I was like, "How is this going to work?"
No.
Listen.
They had me to introduce the sucker. And I set him up nice for him to get up there and bring that, not even a vacation Bible school story.
Yo,
And they do that once a year.
I grew up at Beauty Spot, Missionary Baptist Church. And as a child, a lot of them acted like I wasn't going to be nothing. I preached at this church like 3 or 4 times prior to this particular engagement. But for some reason, this time, I felt they needed to hear this. And yeah, it was
Mike said, wait, that's a church?
Listen. Mike
I
said
the same thing when y'all took me there.
That joke said Deuteronomeers.
Nick Stubbins in the
remember that. Yo, it was crazy. No, hold on.
Real quick.
Preacher presided all the purple in the church and did all that jumping. That's St. Paul, ain't it? Do y'all know Jasmine will remember the amount of time we spent at St. Paul's was ridiculous.
It's St. Paul.
That was my first YA service, I think.
Y'all, Pastor now Patrick now pastors that church. Mm-hmm. He had a
plan. First YA service was in the house.
You right.
Spring Lake, buddy. Spring Lake.
And then after that was when Sherman's dad came to St. Paul.
And fussed at everybody for all the young people for not having jobs.
My God, y'all don't have no money?
Hey, don't talk about my dad.
Do it, Matt.
You don't talk about my dad. I'm going to talk over you every time you say it.
I felt bad that night, man.
Well, I felt bad for being young and broke.
I mean, we would have been had this amount at home.
So my dad does that because he bought his first Cadillac with his own money when he was like 16. So he's always had money, and he looks down on young people who don't work. Like, this is a different time, man.
Man, when he came to Farmville, that was the worst, man. I was so embarrassed.
Yeah, he made everybody who didn't have jobs come to the altar.
He stopped the offering. My God, y'all don't have jobs? Come on up, get up here. I'll lay hands on you and pray for you.
Hey, what you want to know something? I just thought about it. We got jobs after that.
All right.
Oh man.
Listen, we're getting ready to go, y'all. Y'all jumping in too late. Jaquetta says she remembers me working in the audio room, then running downstairs to the front and started jumping. Oh my gosh, no. Y'all remember that year that happened? That's that same service, but I ran around and there was a particular somebody who was on the side. And I ran.
Well, all right, I'm done for the night.
They hated me forever.
Well, we hate them too. All right, so let's go.
I need you to see what Mike said first.
Matt, really?
Oh man.
All right, everybody. You've been watching.
Oh man.
We done.
Oh man.
What is wrong with you?
We're moving. And hey, listen, we appreciate you guys for always supporting us. Can you guys do us a favor and share this throughout the week? And we'll be back next week. And I want you to stay tuned because next week we're going to be talking and sharing videos, a blast from the past next week. And I want you guys to encourage Trayvon L. McNeil to be on time.
On time.
Encourage your mama. All right, everybody. Have a great night tonight.
Yeah, go ahead and log off so we can have this conversation.
Nikki said it best. And on that note, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for watching the brother.
You're late if you're on time.
Listen, John, I'm ready to go to bed. Ready to eat. Okay. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for watching Brothers Broadcast Live. Don't forget to send in your Ask the Brothers questions for the next week. We have a question for that segment on you guys, and we'll be good to go. All right. I love everybody. We love everybody. Have a great night. Peace.